Today we are here to explore Mahim. Some of you may know it for the Mahim church, some of you for Mahim Dargah, and some for the Sitla Devi temple. But for most people in the city, Mahim is just another railway station. So would you believe me if I told you that had the British and the Portuguese not come to Mumbai, this would have been the most important part of the city. Let's travel back in time to the 13th century. At that time, Mumbai wasn't a city, it was just a group of islands. This H-shaped island was the island of Mumbai, or Bombay as the British called it. And this island was the island of Mahim. Legend says that when Alauddin Khilji invaded Devgiri, a Yadav prince named Bhindev fled here and established his capital on this island and named it Mahikavati. So Mahikavati became Mahi for short, and later the Portuguese and the British called it Mahim. And hidden from the sight of this city, down this lane are some remnants from the time of Raja Bhimdev. This historic spot, long abandoned and neglected, is finally getting its due, as the Maharashtra government and the BMC are working towards making it once again a spot of interest to both residents as well as tourists. And right besides me is the Mahim fort. Historians tell us that it was captured by the Portuguese about 5 centuries ago from the Sultan of Gujarat, and though records before that are not available, it was probably built by Raja Bhimdev. The fort is at a very strategic location. It was guarding the Mahim Creek. What is so important about the Mahim Creek, you may ask? Well, 800 years ago, this was an entrance to something very important. Since the British came to Mumbai, the entrance of Mumbai harbour has been Colaba. And before that, the entrance of the harbour was right here. Ships would enter the harbour from the Mahim Creek and go around the island of Parel and dock somewhere near Shivdi. Some more evidences of this period in Mahim's history can be found at the Mahim police station, which is just behind this fort. In course of time, the fort and the island came under the rule of Sultan of Gujarat, but the importance of Mahim did not diminish. On the other side of the fort is the Dargah of Makhdoom Ali Mahimi. Makhdoom Ali was a Muslim saint and a scholar from that era. Around the Dargah would have been one of the oldest urban settlements on the islands of Mumbai, the Kasbah of Mahim. Some parts around here still give you the feel of a medieval coastal town rather than a modern city. About 5 centuries ago, this very fort was attacked by the Portuguese, and finally the whole island was captured from the Sultan of Gujarat and established the first Catholic church on the islands of Mumbai, St. Michael Church. Of course, the earlier church building looked very different from the present one. But from here on, Mahim started to decline. The Portuguese controlled a long strip of coast from the south of Gujarat to just south of Mumbai, and Vasai became the capital of these northern territories. In 1661, the Portuguese handed over the 7 islands of Mumbai to the English in a dowry deal. And as the English started developing the town of Bombay or Mumbai to the south, Mahim was further eclipsed. Under the British, Mahim became a port for bamboos and sand. Ships no longer bring bamboos here, but the bamboo traders continue to do business here. Even a small customs outpost from those days continues to survive. This used to be the northernmost edge of the Mahim island. If you wish to travel to Bandra across the creek, you would have to take a ferry from here till about 2 centuries ago. But when a few boats capsized during a monsoon storm, a road bridge called Mahim Causeway was constructed to connect the 2 islands, which is the road right behind me. You can still see some signs of the causeway from those days in Mahim. As the city of Mumbai began to develop and expand, Mahim became an insignificant part of the city. Its great history completely forgotten. But now efforts are on to revive the interest in its past. Let's have a look. Just few months ago, where I am standing used to be a garbage dump. The BMC has removed tons of garbage from here and replaced it with fresh sand to create a new public beach and a garden. In my view, the biggest attraction on this site is the 360-degree watchtower that you see right behind me. From here you can see Worli, the Sea Link, Bandra, Mahim and the Mahim Bay. The neglected beach behind me is going to be cleaned up and is going to be refurbished with new sand. A trash boom is proposed to be installed at the mouth of the Mitti River to collect plastic waste. Once that is ready, it will be the first plastic-free beach in Mumbai. To prevent erosion of the beach, new trees have been planted which thrive on the saline area. The Mahim fort is going to be cleared of all the encroachments here, and the state archaeology department is going to restore it to its former glory. And the bamboo fencing right behind me blends really well with the bamboo bazaar right behind. And here you have an open air gym which is free for use for residents of Mumbai. And interestingly, if you see, all the equipment is made of wood which can withstand the salty moist air next to the sea. This is the initiative of the Tourism Minister of Maharashtra, Mr. Aditya Thackeray, and has been ably supported by the local corporator, Mr. Milind Vaidya. Once again, people will be flocking to Mahim not as invaders or as traders, but as residents and as tourists.